And we've been hearing it over and over again that this whole border bill fiasco, now Democrats are blaming, trying to shift more attention to Republicans for failing to pass that border bill. Now, after the Senate's bipartisan border bill failed in its second vote on Thursday, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer did bring the measure up again. This is after it fell apart in February. Lawmakers again clashing. NewsNation political editor Chris Stirewalt, anchor of The Hill Sunday, joining me right now. Good morning, Chris. You know, every single vulnerable Democrat in a highly contested election year voting for this bill. Please tell our audience this was not just a crisis PR move ahead of November.
Well, Republicans voted for the bill, too. Some Republicans voted for the bill, too. And the bill would be very popular, right? If you put this up to a vote in the country writ large, it would be very popular. It would have a majority support, I'm sure, because people would like to do something. But we have to ask not why those Democrats voted for a popular bill. We have to ask why some Democrats, a handful of Democrats, voted against it, and most Republicans voted against it. Why did they do that? And the answer is politics, right? They do not want Joe Biden to have a win on the border. And if Joe Biden could do what Donald Trump could not do when he was president, which is develop consensus to increase border security, pass something through Congress and get it done, that would be a big win for Joe Biden in an election year. But Republicans are not going to give him that. There's no way they're going to let the incumbent Democratic president, who has the fight of his life on his hands to try to keep his office, there's no way they're going to let him have it, so they kill it. And look, what Schumer was doing, the majority leader in the Senate was doing, was torturing Republicans because they know they're wrong. They know they're playing politics. So he said, OK, I'm going to let you vote on it again. One more time, I'm going to let you vote on it again so that, as you say, those vulnerable Democrats can say, I voted for it, Republicans voted against it. But this is also why we can't have nice things, because look, if the point is to just win office on problems, then there's a disincentive to actually solving problems.
Okay, I'd love to go deeper in this conversation with you because there's so many perspectives and layers, but let's listen to what White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre told reporters about whether President Biden would take executive action on the border.
This is something that the American people want to see. They want Congress to take action on this particular issue. Why should he have to do it unilaterally? Why should we do it in a legislative way?
Is President Biden missing an opportunity to capture the hearts of voters ahead of November by not taking executive action that he certainly has the bandwidth for?
Well, he will. He will do it. The question is when and how much and how effective. Because the game he's playing is trying to balance between what would be popular with moderate and persuadable voters. And we see in survey after survey after survey that a lot of potential Biden voters, probably a lot of 2020 Biden voters, are fed up and frustrated with what's going on with migrants in the United States. They've had it. So he needs to do something. But there's a sliver of his party, and it's some of those Democrats who actually voted against the legislation that Senator Schumer brought forward. Some of those folks are furious that Biden would engage in what they call Trump-era policies and that they do this stuff. So Biden, who's very worried about his left flank because progressive Democrats don't trust Biden. They think he's too moderate. They think he's too centrist, squishy. And so he's worried about them, and that if he takes action, that they, who are already angry with him over his support for Israel, will abandon him further because maybe they say they don't care whether it's Trump or Biden. On the other hand, if he does nothing, he will continue to bleed support with those persuadable, more moderate, Democratic-leaning voters who have just had enough.
Yeah. All right, Chris Stirewalt, always good to see you. Have a great show on Sunday and The Hill.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.